What is up, fellow nerds, and welcome to Not Your Status Quo. Tonight, we're talking Daredevil Born Again theories, we're talking Invincible, we're talking DC Studio updates, we even had a Marvel leak that was insane. But, before we get into all of that fun, Doug, how's it going today, sir?
Well, Keith, let me tell you, I am outstanding. It feels like it's been so long since I've had a chance to chat with you and our good friend Dave, wherever he might be. Go ahead and cue In the Arms of the Angel. We got the license for that, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure we do.
Oh, great. In the arms of the... we've got a lot on our plate, a lot of stuff to talk about. Some more fun than others. And, oh my gosh, can you believe, Keith, Daredevil is out tomorrow? Oh my gosh, I cannot wait.
But of course, it doesn't drop till 9 p.m., so we have to wait. It's like they keep getting us a little more. But it was canceled like 7 years ago, so, waiting one more day ain't too bad.
So, before we dive into all of that, Keith, sir, how are you?
Douglas, I am tremendous, sir. Always happy. We're a day off from our usual stream. We had last Thursday off. It's been utter mayhem with things
chaotic.
going on. Yes. But I'm happy to be back. We got Brad out in the chat on YouTube. Brad, how's it going, sir? Always happy to have you. And we got a lot to talk about. So what do you want to talk about first, Doug? Should we talk Daredevil, Theory-Palooza? Should we talk Invincible? Should we talk the DC Studio stuff?
Why don't we go ahead and why don't we get Invincible out of the way?
We'll do Invincible. All right, Invincible, episode 6. So,
Well,
it was a step up.
yeah. I mean, the bar was kind of low, so a step up isn't saying much, but yeah, it was. It's a little bit better.
Yeah, we had Powerplex. I don't know his real name. I don't know if they ever gave it to us. We see in the past that he was in Chicago when Omni-Man and Invincible were fighting. His sister and niece, died in the fight, and he becomes a GDA scientist to... They never really said he did it to kind of get even, but he obviously, once he found that those power rings, he's like, I'm taking them. And I like how their security is, too. Hey, they're missing. Does anyone know what happened to them? Some guy probably walked off with them.
Right. Look, whatever. He'll turn up as a supervillain at some point. We don't need to worry about it. But yeah, it was weird because we finally got a little bit more character growth in this episode, which I think has been lacking in the past 2 or 3. We really haven't seen a whole lot happen with these characters, and I'd say not last week's episode. Well, 2 episodes ago, where we had the episode split in half. I'd say that was kind of the start of it. It was almost like they don't know what to do with Invincible at this point. He's kind of in this stagnant period where, yeah, he's really strong, he's really powerful, and it does take a lot to take him down now, where he was very invincible in, seasons 1 and 2. Now that we're in our 3rd season, Invincible is he's a lot stronger, he's a lot more trained, and so these fights end a lot quicker. And so we need something. We need something that's going to challenge him, something that's going to allow him to continue growth, or otherwise it's going to be like, well, I don't care about watching him then. I know that he's the main character of the show. It's what it's named after, but it's like he's also at this point kind of the most boring aspect of it.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And Brad asked, what service is Invincible streaming on? It is on Amazon Prime. We almost got where they were, okay, he's stronger, like you said, he's a lot better, so they had to play a little bit off, he doesn't want to beat this guy up, he wants to try to talk him down. And obviously...
And also, if he does, it just makes him stronger, so...
Yeah. We get... I love it when Shapesmith shows up. Well, first, before... Dave also agreed, and I think we all agree, the use of the title card this week was fantastic.
That was probably one of the best parts.
Powerplex.
I'm looking for where's and for those of you out there that maybe haven't seen the show, aren't aware of it, they do that pretty often. That's been a mainstay in this series where you won't see the actual title card of the show, like what Keith played for our intro. That's what it's based on. They don't play it until somebody says Invincible's name, and it's usually at more of a dramatic point or something. And so yes, it was an incredible joke this past episode, allowing somebody to constantly say his name over and over, and in response, you have to show the the title card, even if it's like for a brief millisecond before you have to put it up on screen again.
Yeah, they didn't play the whole thing.
That was a good joke.
It was just boom, boom.
Right. I'll give him credit for that. That was good.
But Shapesmith shows up because Mark is celebrating is it Will's birthday? Yeah, William's birthday.
Yes, it is. It was William's birthday. They went bowling. Yeah. And right. That was the whole thing where he ends up running into Amber again. And we have to have, that awkward, hey, how's it going? Fancy meeting you here. Glad you're happy.
And I like that when they're both like, oh, Seance Dog. Yeah, it's so good. It's,
right.
I liked it when I was a kid, but man, I get all the jokes now. I get all the, And she's like, I guess I have a type. Yes, you do.
Right. As soon as he walked in, as soon as her new boyfriend walked in and he had the Seance Dog shirt, I'm like, okay, well, I know where this is going.
And then, Shapesmith shows up, and I love that no one knows who he is. And she's like, and some unknown hero, and he's like, Shapesmith.
Aww.
After he gets pounded by Powerplex. And by the way, voiced by none other than Jesse Pinkman.
Jesse Pinkman. I saw that like right away. As soon as I heard it, I'm like, just say bitch, just say bitch.
That would have been nice. That would have been awesome. But yes, unfortunately, none of that.
Excuse me, sorry.
Yep, no worries.
Oh my gosh, but it was always funny when they get somebody has a very recognizable voice and get them to do a voice role. That's why I think when that Mario movie came out, I cringed a little bit because I'm like, Chris Pratt, really? Is that who you want? And then even Seth Rogen, who is in Invincible, and said to them the same thing that he said to the people of the Mario movie, like, well, I'm not doing a different voice. It's just going to be my voice. And both parties said, here in Invincible, and that's fine. That's what we want. Just be you, I guess.
We didn't hire Alan Tudyk.
Right. We didn't hire Alan Tudyk. By the way, just quick plug. If those of you out there who like, improv, you like comedy, if you aren't watching the shows on Dropout, you got to check them out. Hilarious stuff. They did this one thing where they tricked their cast members into not realizing that it was Alan Tudyk the entire time. They're like, okay, guess the voice actor, and they had him do a voice saying, oh, who is it? And they're all guessing these famous. Oh, it's Alan Tudyk. Oh, okay. Second time around, all right, guess the voice actor. Oh, they're guessing all these people. Oh, it's Alan Tudyk again. They did this to them like 4 times.
Did they finally catch on?
They never caught on. That was the worst part. They're like, there's no way they would do it again. But yeah, seriously, that's my little shameless plug for the night. Check out Dropout. And now back to Invincible.
Yeah, so he ends up taking off. He's talking to his family. They're like, oh, well, we'll draw him out.
I was a little surprised that his wife was sort of pushing him into this. That she wanted this just as much as he did. He definitely wanted to get revenge. That was the only thing on his mind. It started off, he was saying, why can't justice be served? I want justice to be served. And it turned out it's more than that. He didn't really want justice. He wanted to see vengeance. He wanted to see somebody pay for what he viewed as a crime, even though most people who had watched it actually happen knew that Invincible was trying to prevent all of this stuff from happening. In fact, you even see in the flashback scene, where as he's thrown into the building, he's then trying to immediately stop it from collapsing. He's trying to push it back up and get things situated, and Omni-Man is causing more havoc and damage and, killing even more people. So anybody who was actually watching, who was in Chicago or was watching the news of what was going on, would be well aware, or should be well aware. So it is odd that Powerplex was so dead set on, it's Invincible's fault and I need to go after him and he needs to die for these crimes.
And we did see Powerplex. He was trying to do the right thing. He was gathering information. He was trying to take it to the district attorney. She's like, soups are on a different level. We can't, they don't abide by our laws. And he just got more and more frustrated. And you're right, his wife wasn't very helpful. And like, maybe we should she's like, yeah, let's get him. Let's power you up. And, she was on board and kind of goading him into it, which, obviously didn't end well. But then we also got a nice little side bar with the teen team. We got Ray, Shrinking Ray, telling, oh my God, can't think of his name. Ray Splode.
Not Gambit.
Yeah, not Gambit, yes.
Rexplode, yes.
Rexplode. That she's going to quit, and he kind of understands, but he's still going to do it. We got a Robot trying to figure out how to stop de-aging Monster Girl.
That's right. That should have been made a bigger deal, I feel like.
Yeah.
Because that's something he's been working on for a while, and it was almost like oh, hey, by the way, we're going to test this experimental procedure. Oh, look at that. You're not going to age anymore. Okay, next scene.
Yeah. Okay, now this romance we're kind of starting. Okay, you're going to leave. He's going to stay. Okay, they kiss. Okay, let's get back to guys with a lot of power. And,
right.
We see I'm assuming it's the anniversary of the fight in Chicago.
Yeah, they were doing like a big memorial service. They had put up these, plaques with all the names and everything. It was taking place like pretty much right in front of the building that had been damaged. So we see all these people gathered, and Invincible is there. Only he's there as Mark. He's decided, he's not going to go there to be Invincible. And other people agree, like, yeah, actually, it does make sense for you to go to. You also lost people. Which, yeah.
And then Powerplex strikes. Adam Eve takes him out. Which, it was funny because you see Mark's mom, like, he's like looking like he's going to get involved because he's worried. And she's just like, let her do her thing. She's got
it.
Yep.
And also, like, how quick she figured out, like, oh, I'm not going to, beat you up. I know that that's just going to increase your power. So we're just going to keep you in here for a while.
Yeah.
You don't see that too often in, like, superhero things where they figure out the gimmick that quick and like, yeah, no, I'm not going to engage.
Yep, I know the thing. I'm not hitting you anymore. I get it.
Right.
But then, of course, he escapes again, and he goes back, and his wife convinces him to use her and their child as bait to lure Invincible.
How dumb. I was, my mouth dropped open with that. I'm like, you've got to be kidding. That's your plan. Do you realize how wrong this could go?
See, as it was happening, and I'm like, okay, are we going to get the old Invincible and something really bad is going to happen to the family? Or are we going to get the new Invincible where, oh, Mark saves them at the last second and they're mad at power play? I was like, they're probably not going to do it, but I was wrong. They definitely, Powerplex would not listen to reason. He wanted vengeance, as you put earlier, and he was just unloading all of the power he had. And while it hurt Mark, it did a lot worse to his wife and kid.
I have a theory about that, too, by the way. A meta theory, not really like an in-universe. I think they did that on purpose, going back to what we were talking about at the beginning of this breakdown and review. I just don't think they knew what to do with Mark. I think they needed to do something to regress him, and what better than to, as you put it, have him go back to being like, season 1 Mark, where bad things are going to happen, where he's going to lose and there is collateral damage. Now he's going to have to work through this again.
Yep. He has more things to weigh on his mind. Of course, if the post-credit scene means anything, he's not going to have a lot of time because Angstrom has an entire army of Marks or Invincibles. Well, one had an Omni-Man like uniform on, so we'll just say an army of Marks. And I love
Multiverse Marks.
Multiverse Marks, yes. And I loved it because one like had a thin little mustache that they like got a close up of, and I was like, okay, that's the best scene of the show. That's fantastic.
Oh, what's that one's deal? Oh, that's Mark from another universe where he doesn't actually have superpowers, but he's really creepy. So I thought he was a good addition. Do you like my tiny little mustache?
He's gonna creep the real Mark out. So
Yeah, I don't want to touch you.
but once again, we talked about it a little bit on Slack. It was better in the last couple of weeks, but it really feels like this season, the quality has dropped off.
Mm-hmm. I don't know why.
They're not bad episodes, but it's not like must-see TV anymore. It's not like I'm like Thursday, like, oh, finally Incredible's going to be back. I can watch it. It's more like, okay, let's see what Incredible's about
if
this
I
week.
remember to watch it, that's how it's been for me lately, where like other shows, I'm sitting there like, oh my gosh, is it Monday? Is it Tuesday? Is it ready for the episode? Oh man, oh great. I'm so glad it premieres at midnight so I can watch it. And it's like, with the quality that these past couple of episodes have been, I've been really hesitant to watch. Like, it hasn't been the first thing on my mind. Like Thursday, I'm thinking, maybe I'll watch a YouTube video here or there. I'll figure out read a comic or something on my lunch, whatever. And then Friday we'll roll around. Oh yeah, Invincible came out. I'll watch Harley Quinn first.
Harley Quinn has been much better this season than Invincible has.
Harley Quinn has been amazing.
And it's funny because going into this week, I'm like, okay, it's episode 8. We only got, or episode 6. There's only 8 episodes, so it's going to start kicking into high gear this week. And I'm like, okay, still not really kicking into high gear. So next week? This week, is it going to happen?
I guess the other thing that I'm a little surprised about is, why are we doing another Angstrom storyline as our season closer? Like, it just seems... Why is that the big bad that they're going with?
I thought the same thing. Because when we saw him the last time, when he was spying on Mark and Mark found it, I was like, okay, they're just leaving a little breadcrumbs for a couple seasons, maybe next season, 2 seasons down the line. I did not expect him to come back up as the big bad at the end of this. And I was
and
like...
it seems like that's what they're doing with the end credit reveal of this past episode.
Yeah, because we haven't gotten any more, Omni-Man and Alan the Alien coming in. We haven't seen anything with... What's up, Soul Man?
I have been summoned.
You have? Who summoned you?
You.
Oh, I did? Here, I need a good luck hug. Okay, buddy.
Oh, no,
Don't forget to do your reading.
No one finished yet. You guys remember the game. Remember to use like a PS5, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, or VR.
Yep, they got it. Dude.
Okay.
Don't forget to do your reading, bud. It is a school night.
Yo, I just saw it.
Yep, you're on TV. Okay, bud. Listen to mommy. Make sure you brush your teeth and go to bed.
I already did.
Okay, cool. Do your reading. Love you, buddy. But, overall, I was expecting to see maybe even, what Nyssa deemed something much worse coming, getting any kind of indication of something else besides Angstrom being the villain again. But, I guess we'll see how it plays out. If he has to fight a bunch of marks next week, that could probably be entertaining, but I just thought they wouldn't bring Angstrom back so soon. He did take a severe beating at the hands of Mark, so...
I don't remember. It's been a minute since I watched that last episode. I thought he died. Like, I thought Mark killed him.
He did.
Huh. Okay.
I think this is a different Angstrom.
Oh, okay. All right.
And, he knows...
I did see, the scar that they showed. I'm like, I guess he recovered somehow?
Well, and I don't know if you saw it. I know you've read a lot of the comics. I have not. But a lot of people were online griping because the Angstrom that came back after this in the comics was, severely deformed and just super ugly and, grotesque. And people were like, this show isn't giving us the Angstrom we need. It's like, I'm happy with the one we got. We don't need something
Right.
that horrible. I mean, they're doing enough.
Oh, is this just harkening back to when people were complaining that what's his name from Game of Thrones wasn't ugly enough.
Yes.
God.
They
You
always
know, people
have.
need to chill.
They always have something to complain about.
Always.
But perhaps it's time to rate this episode, sir.
I think so.
I can go first. I think
All right.
overall it was a good episode. It started. It was better than the last two. I don't want to say it started gaining momentum again, because it really didn't gain any momentum. It just stopped the downward or negative momentum going. So, I mean, I liked hearing Jesse Pinkman, his voice doing Powerplex. That was great. But like you said, he didn't say bitch. That would have been much nicer if he called somebody that. We got just too quick of little team stuff. It's like, hey, we're going to show these characters. Okay, Monster Girl's now cured thanks to Robot, and Ray's leaving, and Rexplode is kind of fine with it. Okay, see it off. Now we're going to have more Mark and everything else. It just, I don't know. Episode did not flow great. It seemed like it could have done a better job of intermingling these plot lines and getting everything going. And then finally, the big shocker at the end, which I'm glad they did because it was needed to be done. But, I mean, it's only building Powerplex to be a much more mentally unstable
Psychotic
villain.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Okay, there you mentally unstable is good.
The next time we see him. So, it did some good things. And, I mean, I wasn't staring at my phone during the episode. It wasn't terrible, but it isn't to the quality that we've seen in the first couple seasons. So, for that, I am going to give it a 6.2. I'll probably watch it again at some point when I do a rewatch, but I'm definitely not looking forward to the last 3 episodes of Invincible on my inevitable rewatch.
Yeah, this could have been better, and the thing is, we've seen the previous seasons of Invincible, so we know that it can be done better. We know that. Yeah, we don't know why it just kind of like nosedive started spiraling, and it's pretty bad that the title of the show is Invincible, and that the main character who it's titled after is right now one of the most boring aspects of it. When that wasn't the case in the earlier seasons, you wanted to see Mark grow. You wanted to see him learn to use his powers. You wanted to see him earn the name of Invincible. But now, well, like we were saying earlier in the review, it's almost like he's kind of reached that point. He's about as strong and as powerful as he's going to get for now. We know that Viltrumites, as they age, they get stronger. So you know it's just a matter of time as he gets older that he's going to get stronger. And that he can really only do so much, working out and lifting stuff and whatever. Yeah, he can, do some training. He can get his skill set underway. He can be a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Strategic when he's fighting. But other than that, I don't really know what else they could do with him. And I think that's why they felt it was necessary at this point. All right, we need to give him a villain that he can't fight like he normally would. His whole thing is strength. He's fighting, he punches, he kicks, whatever. He won't be able to beat this villain like that. But then at the same time, instead of making it where Mark faces off with him at first and realizes, oh, I need to come up with a solution, Mark kind of sidelines himself, and he isn't even the one who fights Powerplex at first. At first, it's
Shapes.
not Stretcher. Shapesmith, thank you. It's Shapesmith who's fighting him, and then, eventually it's Adam Eve who fights him, and then finally Invincible gets around to it, and I don't know, it seems so lackluster. Like, it was almost like, oh, well, I guess we better get the main character in there to fight the big bad of this week. But in between all of that, they're giving us all these, cool little character moments, but real quick, almost like because they felt obligated to do it. Like, oh, well, people need to know why Shrinking Ray isn't going to show up in the next couple of episodes, or people need to know why Monster Girl isn't worried about, aging down anymore. So we better put these quick clips in. And it's like, in all honesty, I think the episode would have been better had you spent a little bit more time with these kind of, at this point, a little bit more interesting characters. Like, the growth that we've seen out of Rexplode has been phenomenal. He used to be I hated that character so much in season 1. And then throughout season 2, he got more tolerable. He got better, especially everything that he went through. And plus, getting his backstory really helped us understand, finding out that, oh yeah, his parents sold him. He was used as a government experiment, as a guinea pig, and yet he still wants to help people. He still wants to be a hero, and that's pretty cool. I kind of see a Rexplode spin-off series now.
That would be nice. Like we got the Adam Eve special. Get a Rexplode one. I'd be down for that.
I'd be down for that.
You
but
mean
yeah,
not Gambit?
Oh yeah, not Gambit. Oh god, title it that, please. but yeah, this was a little bit better than the previous 2 episodes, but it was only better because it just didn't get worse. It was very average. It was very, very average. So because of that, I'm only going to give this episode a 5. It was fine. Yeah, I like you. I wasn't really picking up my phone, but if I got up to, go get something or whatever, it wouldn't have probably bothered me. I don't think I would have missed much. So what I did end up doing though is after I watched the episode, it made me actually want to go back and watch the last 2 episodes from season 1, which were better. Just because it was like, oh yeah, it's the flashback showing the Chicago destruction. I'm like, oh yeah, I should go back and watch those. So that's what I did.
I probably should have done that too. That was smart.
It made the whole. Well, as a side effect, then the next day I couldn't remember what had happened in the episode. I'd watched the last 2 episodes of season 1, and then I completely forgot why I did that, and then what this episode was about. And I was typing in the chat. I'm like, I think this episode was good, but I don't remember now. And it took I had to jog my memory just because it was so blah. It was so plain. It was the unflavored yogurt.
It was the vanilla in your Neapolitan.
The vanilla froyo.
And Dave is in the chat, and he said, I give it a 4.5. I fell asleep watching again. Yeah, I think if I wouldn't have been watching it at lunch while I was eating and drinking, a caffeinated beverage. I mean, if this was a late night watch for me, I probably wouldn't have made it because it wasn't too exciting.
I can see that. Yeah.
And once again, we're in line. I had the highest rating. Doug was in the middle. Dave was the lowest. So things are back to normal. Thank God.
Order has been restored.
All right. Are you ready to talk a little Daredevil Born Again?
Yes, I am. Oh boy, I can't wait to talk about this. I've been wanting to talk about this since you proposed that we would do a Theory-Palooza on this. And yeah. I have been, oh my gosh, am I looking forward to this series. I loved the original Netflix Daredevil series. I loved the Punisher series. The Defenders existed.
Yeah. Jessica Jones season 1 was great.
Yeah.
The first half of Luke Cage was good. Yes, I found out something. We always talk about how killing Marshall Ali's character, Cottonmouth, in the first season, tanked the first season because that season was so good, and then Cottonmouth died, and the rest of the season was why did they do that?
Now what?
It was scheduling conflicts.
Oh.
He said, I would love to do it, but I gotta, I can only film till this day because he had other obligations. So they said we'd rather have you for half a season than none at all. So.
I did not know that.
I didn't know it until a week ago, and I was like, I still hate the decision because he was the best character in that show.
Oh yeah.
And the show tanked after that, but now I get it. But Daredevil Born Again, it's back. We know there's a time jump, and the funny thing I thought too when they renamed it Daredevil Born Again is that the 3rd season of the Netflix show kind of started was kind of doing this Born Again storyline. With their own little twists on it. So I was like, okay, so, what's going to be happen now? And I think we're going to see him coming back and being, full on Daredevil, I guess is the best way to say it, because we know from the trailer, he said, I crossed the line. And what I think is going to happen, is, and just so if anyone out there wonders, we have not seen the episodes. I know a lot of screeners were sent out. A lot of people saw the entire first season already. We did not. Wish we would have, but we have not. Yeah. But I do think that Bullseye, like in the past, kills somebody close to him, whether it's Foggy, Karen, something along those lines. And I think Daredevil goes a little off the edge and just beats the living crap. Maybe he kills Bullseye. I certainly hope he doesn't, because I want Bullseye to keep returning. And I think that's going to be the line that is crossed, that he talks about to the Kingpin at the beginning of this season.
The one thing that I'm curious about is we see Daredevil show up in Echo, and as far as I can tell, this series, Daredevil Born Again, takes place maybe a year or so after Echo takes place, because we see Kingpin, on his plane, like contemplating, like, oh, well, maybe I should get into politics, and so we know that he makes that decision then, which leads into what now that he's the mayor of New York in Daredevil Born Again. So it does have me wondering, what happened that makes it so Matt Murdock needs to be born again, I guess, as Daredevil, or are they just using it because it's a clever title, from the comics, or
and it's
like that?
A beloved arc.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm wondering if that's more of what it is, or because it seems like he hasn't stopped really being Daredevil. I don't really know.
And they'll probably, but I also think, because remember, in season 1 of Daredevil on Netflix, Fisk claims the only way for the once grand but failing city like New York to truly flourish is for it to be torn down and remade again, or reborn. So I wonder if this has more to do with not Matt Murdock being reborn as Daredevil, but more the Kingpin's plan for New York, becoming the mayor and kind of burning it all to the ground so it can be rebuilt, back in the way he wants it.
I could see that.
And I definitely, seeing him, and some of the scenes we've seen, he's mayor already. So I can't help but think Devil's Reign from the comics, where he basically became mayor, he outlawed vigilantes, and he basically set up his own team of, I believe they called themselves the Thunderbolts. Obviously, we're getting a different Thunderbolts, in a few weeks. But they were villains basically being deputized by Fisk to go get Daredevil, go get Spider-Man, go get the Punisher. So I wonder if we're going to see that, and it'll be nice, because then it won't just be, Muse the whole time. We'll maybe have other supervillains working with Fisk to kind of take that down. Well, let's hear it, sir.
And this is going to be boring. You're probably not going to like it.
I'll be the judge of that.
I'm going to call this my Andor theory of Daredevil. I don't think we're going to see a lot of cameos. I don't think we're going to get a whole lot as far as all of these recognizable faces. And I think that's because, at least I would hope so, I think that's because Disney knows what this is. This is definitely more of a dark take on, a more grounded dark take on their normal superhero stuff. Kind of like Andor was. It was definitely a different take for Star Wars. It was a lot more grounded. It was dirty. It was an action spy thriller thing, and I think that's based on, what we see. It's a very muted, there isn't a whole lot of color going on with this based on what we've seen in the previews. It seems like, it almost seems like a lot of the episodes of Gotham. It's very dark and rainy and muted, and so I think they're going to go for more of a grounded feel for this. We're going to see a lot of, interactions between characters we're already familiar with. I think we'll see a lot of Daredevil. We'll get our cameo from Punisher. We're going to see, him figuring out ways to legally go up against Kingpin now that he's the mayor. And I think we're going to, see him trying to prevent things from happening as Daredevil at night. But I think it's going to be a split between the two. But I do not think we're going to get a bunch of cameos. I don't think we're going to see Spider-Man or a bunch of these other villains.
We won't see Spider-Man.
I think they're going to keep this grounded.
Well, and they could keep it grounded by having Fisk hire. And it may just be Bullseye that he deputizes to go get him.
That I could see.
But, speaking of the Punisher, we know that he's in this. Is Matt reaching out to him because he needs something done that he's not willing to do?
That I could definitely see.
I got a feeling he's going to be like, this needs to happen, and I know...
That would be too far for me, but not for you.
Hey, Frank, I got. Let me point you at something and see what happens.
Exactly. You will be my weapon. And Frank, being Frank Castle, he's
Yes.
going to be like, yeah, sure. Well, you do know that you could go back to prison. I don't care.
I've been there once. I'll do it again.
Right, exactly. All right. What do I got to lose?
But I also think, we know that the Kingpin reaches out to Matt. They meet in the diner in the trailer. They're talking. With him being the mayor, I think he kind of, while he needs Matt to help stop Muse, I think he's also using Matt because he know that Daredevil is going to. He's not. What is the word I'm looking for? He's not soft in taking people down.
Oh, yeah.
And he is going to use that. I think we're going to get, somehow people are going to find out that Daredevil beat up Muse something senseless. Like, I won't say he goes over the edge.
He's going to throw the both of them at each other to eliminate both of his problems.
Yes. And he's probably like, I know Daredevil's going to stop Muse, but then I'm going to use what he did to Muse to start pushing his anti-vigilante bill. Start being, we can't have people like this on the street, dishing out justice and, being the detectives and the justice and everything else. We need to stop them.
I can definitely see that.
So I do think that is going to be the main thing, that once he stops Muse and he thinks, oh, I helped save the day, it's going to be used against him to pass what was, Devil Reigns' anti-vigilante law. And, we're not going to see, we know we're seeing the Punisher. I don't think we're going to see Jessica Jones. I don't think we're going to see Luke Cage or Danny Rand. We're definitely not seeing Spider-Man because he can't show up in it. But I wonder if he's mentioned at all, because he like to do that. Be like, we can't have him in here, but, we'll talk about an arachnid hero or something, or Fisk will mention him. I'm like...
It would be funny if they went back to the way they had to talk about the MCU in the Netflix shows. Like, whenever they would talk about the first Avengers movie, didn't they refer to it as the incident or something?
Yeah.
The arachnid hero. Oh, my God. That'd be a nice little callback to how they used to do the shows.
Yeah, it definitely would. And now, speaking of Muse, I was thinking about this. Why do we not know who's playing him?
That I don't know.
Is it because it's going to be someone we already know? It's going to be some big twist in the series, like it's an already established character?
Oh, that could be. So not exactly out of the comics. Maybe somebody else is going to be Muse, kind of like similar to what they did with Taskmaster. It wasn't exactly the comic book version of it.
Like whoever, if my theory's right and Bullseye kills someone close to Matt, or seemingly kills them, and they come back and are Muse in this season, I keep thinking that. Or it's some big name actor they got to play him, and they just want,
They just want to be
the big surprise. Yeah.
And introducing Chris Pratt as me. Oh, God, but again.
It'll probably be Woody Harrelson, or wait, he's already Carnage. He can't be it.
Right.
Or to be. When I was thinking, could it be Karen? Could it be? And for a minute, I'm like, maybe it's Matt with a split personality, because in Born Again, with all the stuff the Kingpin was doing to him, he starts to lose his mind a little bit. Like in the comics, we have the first issue of Born Again, issue 226. Back issue breakdown on our YouTube channel right now. So,
Breakdown on our YouTube channel.
I know, how cool is that? So,
wow,
you can check that out. But he starts to lose his mind a little bit in like the second and third issue. He's homeless. Fisk has basically got him disbarred. Got him evicted from his home. He can't use his credit cards. He's basically, and he's like walking around just kind of losing his mind. He's super paranoid. Fisk is sending people to try to kill him at all times. And at one point, he's talking on the phone to Foggy, who defended him against this false charge against bribing a juror in a past trial. And you think he's talking to Foggy, and he's talking to him. And then it says, "Please deposit, 25 cents if you'd like to make a call." And it's like,
so it was all in his head.
Yeah, It's like, okay.
That's nuts.
And I was thinking, oh, maybe it's a split personality thing. But then I'm like, wait, we see them fighting. So maybe that's not the case.
They could still pull it off. It could still be in his head.
True. And then the last thing
that would be, I like that take. That'd be awesome if they did something like that. And just like, oh my gosh, what if it turned out like Kingpin wasn't committing any crimes all along? He actually was on the straight and narrow, and this really was all in Matt's head, and he's the one causing all this destruction around New York.
Oh man. That would be.
Just wanted to call you here and ask if everything is okay. I notice you've been, doing a fight club on yourself, and I'm a bit concerned.
That would be pretty awesome. My last thought. What if it's his new love interest?
Ooh.
Because unfortunately for Matt Murdock, he always seems to fall for villainesses.
Yes, he does.
He's not good at picking out the ladies.
Elektra, Echo.
He doesn't do the best job with that. And then one of the other things I was thinking about, I wonder if Bullseye, when he's incarcerated, gets dusted during the blip. And that's how he escapes. So
it would be interesting to have them, bring that back in, because I think that was one of the more interesting aspects of some of these Disney Plus shows, and even in Spider-Man Far From Home. I like being able to see, what the blip did to other people, like find out what happened to them when they came back. Like, I think one of my favorites was Yelena, seeing her come back and then seeing everything kind of like alter around her as she's adjusting to coming back.
Yeah, and then she's like in that house and they're like, who are you? Where did you come from? Or whatever. And she's like...
But I wouldn't mind seeing more of that. I mean, I know that was a couple of phases ago, but it's still an interesting aspect. It had major repercussions on the world around them.
And with the time jump we get from season 3 of the Netflix show to now, it would explain quite a bit. So,
yes, it would. Yeah,
and it was nice. Right. Even the photon, blip thing, when she came, she was sitting with her mother and she was dying, and all of a sudden she's gone for 5 years and shows up in the hospital.
Right. Where's my mother?
Yeah.
Oh, sit down. We need to talk.
I know it seems like you've been gone for 2 minutes, but not so much. And then I wonder if, because we did kind of see Kingpin break Bullseye's back in season 3.
Yeah.
And in the comics, when that happens, he gets laced with adamantium in his skeleton.
And now that adamantium is in the universe,
I wonder if we'll see something like, if it's not something that happened already, if we'll see after some type of beatdown by Matt or something along those lines, that we'll see him get this upgrade. So when he comes back, that we might see it. And I wonder, I keep thinking this, man, it'd be so cool if after Daredevil Born Again, when Thunderbolts comes out, if at the end of the movie, I do think, sadly, a few of them are going to die in the movie, that if Val reaches out to, like, Bullseye to be like, hey, I need putting a team together, I could use your skills, you can be our Hawkeye. He's like, yeah, what does it pay? Sure, I'll do it. What the hell?
Right.
But it'd be nice to see, like, him, because I really am done with the MCU killing off villains after one movie. Do not kill Bullseye,
I know.
Please. He's too awesome.
They don't do that in the comics. That's like, that's why it's an ongoing joke. That's like, oh, well, we're going to see them a couple of issues from now. They're always getting out of Arkham, or they're always getting out of prison, whatever. And yeah, it is weird that in most superhero movies, it's a one and done thing.
So let's hope they get away from that for this, because Bullseye's too, especially how well they portrayed him in season 3 of Daredevil. He was great. I mean, I was blown away by what a great job they did with him. And if he could somehow get his costume and start getting a little more mentally unstable as he did in the comics quite a bit, that'd be fantastic. We need more of that, because we know as of last Friday, season 2 of Daredevil Born Again is already filming. So we got that coming for us. And then finally, my last thing. We know we're going to get Matt as a lawyer at some point, I assume. I wonder if he will face off with Jerry Hogarth from Jessica Jones and Iron Fist, or maybe even like Mallory Book from Dave's favorite show, She-Hulk. I wonder if we'll see, because we're definitely not getting Jennifer Walters. I think we can, but if it's someone like Mallory Book or Jerry Hogarth, I think that could happen. So I wonder if what kind of cases he's going to be working on, who he's going to represent in court, and what's going to go there.
I hope that they learned their lesson with She-Hulk, and that they actually got somebody like who understands court proceedings and the law on staff to help with that, because those were some of the more cringy moments, I think. It was one of the things I was looking forward to in She-Hulk, and I think they kind of dropped the ball, where it was like they just don't understand how trials work.
And I think it was a lot because, they're like, we're a comedy, so we're just going to kind of try to get laughs out of this stuff. But it was...
But, with Matt Murdock always, referring to himself, at least in the MCU, referring to himself as a really good lawyer, it would be nice to have this really good lawyer take part in really good court scenes.
Yeah. I hope you're right. I absolutely hope that the court scenes are more along the lines of a good court drama and not kerfuffles.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then, while this is not... Do you have any theories left, sir?
Nope, I don't have any theories left. I was just going to say that a minute ago I was furiously typing on my computer. I could not... I was going to make a point about returning bad guys. And the first thought that popped in my head was, at the beginning of Civil War. And I'm like, wait, who was it? I cannot remember what because I remember Steve kept calling him by his last name, like Rumlow. I'm like, but what the hell was his bad guy name?
Crossbones.
Right. And I like that. I like when you've got these established villains that they've been around before, and to me it makes superhero shows and movies more fun when it's like, I recognize the guy, I know that. Okay, yeah, we're gonna get him back. All right, yeah.
Well,
so I would, for instance, I'd like to see what's his name? The French dude that hops around, parkour dude.
Oh yeah, Batroc, the leaper.
Batroc. I want to see him again.
It's always nice because, and they did it at the beginning of this season of Invincible when they brought back Dr. Seismic. But he had new powers and he was tougher to fight, it was different. And I always love that about comics. It's not that they defeat these villains and we never see them again. Ultron's back, or Count Nefaria's back, and we got some new plan, or Doctor Doom is back again with some crazy scheme to, for universe domination. I always like that. It's something, a new twist and stuff. And they need to do more of that and less of, they're dead. But the best news we've gotten so far, this is official. This isn't a theory of any type.
Ooh, okay.
They are making a Punisher special presentation.
Oh, yes. That is so cool. Yes. You said that's been confirmed?
Yes. That is official. And I hope that turns into a season, too. I hope we get...
That'd be great.
I want to see multiple seasons of Daredevil. I'd like to see multiple seasons of The Punisher.
Same.
If they bring a new Iron Fist on, some multiple seasons of a new Iron Fist show, new showrunners.
With new cast members,
Yes. Sorry, Carrie. But I thought that was great. I'm like, that is the best news. And Jon Bernthal is writing it I can't remember the other guy's name now. I wrote it down and I don't remember where the heck I wrote it. It's not in my notes. But, they're writing it together, and I guess, they're very, sticking very true to the character. And Charlie Cox was talking about how Jon Bernthal came in and rewrote some of the scenes for the Punisher in Born Again. Like, he came in, he was like, you know what? No, that's not really how he would act, so let's do it this way. And they were like, okay, actually, that works. So it sounds like he's got a good grasp of that character, so cannot wait to see him
stories
back.
like that. That's why I love how, deeply invested Ryan Reynolds got into Deadpool, and I love hearing that Jon Bernthal is like just all in on the Punisher. He's read the right comics. He had that guy at the comic book store tell him, no, put all that down. This is what you need. Like, he's invested in wanting to make this character on screen appear as authentic as possible. And the fact that he's looking at the script and being like he knows his character so well that he's like, that's not right. This character wouldn't do that. Actually do this instead. That's awesome. I love hearing stories like that.
It makes me very hopeful for this. And all the, like we talked about earlier, it was just like Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. They sent out the entire first season of Daredevil Born Again to a lot of critics.
Mm-hmm.
And all of them are pretty much universal in praising this show.
Cool.
One even went, Josh Wildling from comicbookmovie.com said it is the best superhero show that has ever been made. Which is definitely high praise. Now, we'll let you know in about, we got 7 weeks of Daredevil Born Again. Because we got 1, 2 together, and then we got 5 and 6 together, I believe. Then we got 7, 8, 9. So it's about 7 weeks of this. We'll let you know at the end of 7 weeks if it's true. Dave might still be thinking, Smallville is the greatest show of all time.
You didn't say I have an excuse to play it.
I know. But honestly, in my opinion, I still think the greatest superhero show is Daredevil on Netflix.
It is an excellent show.
I mean,
yeah.
Even with the 13 episodes and all that went on, it was so good. I mean, I was mesmerized by that show. And if Daredevil Born Again, as some people say, surpasses that, I am looking forward to the next 7 weeks. I'm looking forward to 9 o'clock tomorrow. I still can't believe we got to wait till 9 p.m. tomorrow.
I know, but apparently it's supposed to be very violent, so hey. Cool. I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I got the date confused at first, and I thought that it was coming out tonight, and I was like, oh my gosh, oh boy, it's gonna be, and then I looked and I'm like, Tuesday, darn it.
Today isn't March 4th. Gosh darn it. But it's almost here. I'm fired up. I'm probably not going to be I'm going to be like a kid on Christmas Eve. I'm going to be
right,
tossing back and forth, like just now.
Daredevil, Kingpin,
he's
Punisher.
He's finally back, and we're getting Punisher. And no Iron Fist.
Litigate me, Daredevil. I mean, what?
Whoa, wait now. I hope nobody heard
wrong
that.
Dream.
Yeah, and obviously we will be back Thursday night talking about the first 2 episodes of this series, and I can't wait to talk to everybody about it.
Now, I know that it's coming out tomorrow night, but based on, talking about these theories, the fact that it's, this close to, what is your current hype level?
My current hype level, it's like a 9 or 9.5. I was pretty fired up from the get-go, but reading these spoiler-free reviews from people, and it's not like the normal people who you get, you get the quotes, oh, we went to the premiere of this, and it is all-out action, Marvel at its best. They're like, I was blown away by what they've done and how they've handled this season, and they're like, people aren't going to believe what happens. And I'm like, oh, my God. Stop talking about it. I need to see it now. And, I mean, I hope I'm not disappointed, but my hype level is about as close to a 10 as you can get.
Nice. All right.
How about yours?
Yeah, I'm way up there. Ever since I heard that this was coming back, yes, I've been so excited for this. And watching the trailers only increased that hype level. I know that normally I try to avoid doing this, but I'm at an 11 right now. I cannot wait. I need to start watching the show, and I hope it doesn't let me down. It doesn't sound like it's going to. They would have to really, really ruin the character, and I don't think, at this point, hearing what we know of the way that Disney's been operating things, where the actors are finally starting to put their foot down and be like, no, this is a terrible script. I don't want to act in this garbage. knowing that that's the way the Disney's been doing things, I don't think they would have put this on TV had it been bad, and I don't think the people involved playing these characters would have allowed it to get made if it was anything less than a stellar script. So I have the highest of hopes. I think it's going to be amazing, and I can't wait to watch it.
Excellent. It's going to be great. Please be in for a treat. But you're right. You know what? The fact that they filmed almost the entire first season and then scrapped it all to redo it makes me think, okay, they saw something they didn't like and were like, you know what?
There you go.
Let's do what we need to do.
Let's do it right. We're not going to put out some half-baked garbage. Let's do it right.
So good. Now, are you ready for some DC studio updates, sir?
Oh boy, Keith, I am, because I've been reading some stuff and it's hilarious. So I can't wait to hear what you've got too.
So first off, DC Studios released their schedule, what they want their schedule to be per year.
Okay.
Two live-action films, 2 live-action series, 1 animated film, and 2 animated series every year.
All in 1 year.
All in 1 year. Seems very ambitious.
It does, and they're not telling us the titles.
Nope.
Interesting. That's it's an interesting marketing stunt. I don't know how that's going to play out, but all right.
It is. If they are able to do it, excellent. But it seems like they're stretching a little bit right from the get-go.
It seems like somebody said, "Hey, we've got to put out something." Like I don't know why they don't trust James Gunn's way of doing things. It's like there's still somebody within Warner or whatever is like, no, we got to compete with Marvel. Always says all the things they're doing. They do this big announcement. We got to say something, and I kind of prefer James Gunn's way of doing things. Like, no, we're not going to say anything until we've got a script that we all agree on, that we know is going to be good. We're not going to make some half-baked announcement that isn't going to ever come to fruition. And I prefer that. I actually like that. Sure, I love the excitement of finding out, oh my gosh, they're gonna finally bring this thing out. I've been waiting for this, but at the same time, I'd rather just not hear it if it's not gonna come out anyway.
It's almost one of those things. I'm like you. Like when they had Comic-Con would go like, here's all of Phase 5.
It's like oh
yes,
God, I'm so excited.
But then half the projects don't get made.
Change,
yeah.
The stories change, the villains change, or things just get canceled. It's like, well, then don't tell me this stuff. And so James is like, all right, then we won't. We're not going to tell you what's coming out until we know it's coming out. Okay, good. Thank you.
And honestly, think about it. He says we're not going to announce anything till we have a script.
Yeah.
Even when you have a script, there's so much time with pre-production, filming, post-production. You have time to market it. You don't have to race these, announcements out way beforehand. I agree. I think this is going to be a better way to handle it, because they did announce some stuff too that they have plans down the road, but they're not announcing it yet. Because who knows what's going to happen. Right. But one of the things they did talk about is Batman Brave and the Bold. An anonymous writer has been attached. Script is now being written. James Gunn is working closely with the writer, because he's a big Batman fan. And obviously what we heard before, it follows Batman and his son Damian Wayne as Robin, and the Flash director Andy Muschietti is still directing. Hope he does a better job with this than he did with the Flash. And both James Gunn and Peter Safran confirm again, Robert Pattinson is not the DCU's Batman. We love him, but we've got to introduce a Batman into the DCU. So all of the people trying to tell you that Robert Pattinson is going to be the DCU Batman, not going to happen. We've talked about it before, how they would have to maybe do a time jump to have him be in the DCU after that. I'm glad they're kind of keeping those universes separate. Comics always have these, as DC calls them, Elseworlds movies, where it's not a part of the main universe, and it's fine having, the Batman in that with the Penguin and all that other good stuff, and they can have the DCU Batman. audiences are smart enough to get it. You don't have to worry about
Oh,
them
yeah, of
them
course.
being confused. Why are there two Batmans? They'll figure it out.
Well, in other DC news, so you heard that, obviously there have been some test screenings of the new Superman movie,
Yep.
right? So most of the normal reviews that we've seen, or, normal journalists that are talking about this, have compared it to, weirdly enough, not so weird really, Guardians of the Galaxy. Apparently it's getting high praise. They're saying that, a lot of the VFX still isn't finished yet, but that's to be understood. It's still a couple of months off. But yeah, a lot of the early screenings are pretty positive. They're saying it's good, and, this is going to turn out to be a good movie. But not according to Snyder Rider 69, who said that it's actually a train wreck, and they're going to have to scrap the whole film and start over again, and that Zack Snyder is being brought in to help James find his vision. So I don't know who to believe, Keith.
Everything I've read outside of the few people, it's funny because like Den of Nerds and My Time to Shine Hello, and what is her name? Grace Rudolph, who James Gunn has come out and said this is not true. He's bashed Grace Randolph pretty hard. He's like water's wet. Grace Randolph spews BS, and blah blah blah. He's came out and publicly refuted what Den of Nerds have said, which caused a little spat. And they're all like, "This movie's gonna be terrible." And it's like, everything we've read, all the executives that have seen it are really liking it, and and I'm not surprised. James Gunn writes good characters. He, thinks his movies through. It's always well done. So, we got a few more months to see it. Hopefully we'll get another trailer here coming up. But, yeah, I got a feeling the Snyder cult is 69, whatever his name was, probably
Snyder
is,
Rider.
Snyder Rider.
Snyder Rider.
His opinion might be a little skewed because of what he really wants.
Well, I don't know what would lead you to think that.
I don't know. Just a guess, just a feeling. But James Gunn also confirmed things that have been hinted at, that a Teen Titans movie is in the works.
Oh, okay.
And it's being written by Anna Nogueira, who wrote Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
Oh, well, all right.
And according to Mr. Gunn, the script that they got for Supergirl was tremendous. And that's probably why he might have hired her for this Teen Titans movie.
As long as it is better than the Titans TV series.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God.
That was so bad. God, I
There's
wanted
not
that to be
enough
good.
bleach in this world to wash that out of my brain.
I know. And I was so hyped for it because, like, after Doom Patrol came out, I'm like, yeah, Doom Patrol's great. I bet they got Titans, right? Oh, dear God. They're rushing every storyline. They want to get to Death in the Family in the first 3 episodes. Please stop.
Yeah.
Did Simon Canberg write this? Is he trying to rush? What's going on here?
Well, he only read the one comic, so.
Yeah, right. And this is from Daniel RPK. This isn't anything confirmed from James Gunn. We have heard before that DC Studios was making a Deathstroke and Bane movie. Now, according to Daniel RPK, they have a director already on. So it sounds like the script is done. They've got a director.
Deathstroke and Bane movie, like 2 separate movies, or them together?
Together. And we should find in the next couple months who that director is and stuff, and so we'll hear about it.
I gotta ask, because I'm assuming you know more about this than I do. Is that a thing in the comics?
No. Nothing I've ever seen.
Please don't be like Sony. Don't do that.
I would hope that at least this early in the DCU, it was just something, someone came up with something, and they're like, you know what, that's actually a good idea, so let's move forward with it. If they are starting to go Sony on us, then, yeah, this is going to start off on the wrong track.
Because if you've got a movie that's just about 2 villains, obviously you're going to have to make one of them be the less evil out of the 2 to carry the film. or otherwise you're just watching two bad guys out bad guy each other. I don't really know. I don't know what that would be like.
And we know Deathstroke is very much just a mercenary. He just cares about money. And we could see, Bane actually be almost the heart of the thing. Like, I don't think we should do this. Doing this for the money is wrong. And Deathstroke's like, yeah, I don't care.
I just want to make my drugs.
My pasta maker. And now, to finish off the live action stuff,
Okay.
was confirmed that they do have a 6-year plan right now that will culminate in a Avengers Endgame style event.
Okay, big old crossover.
Yep.
That's cool.
Once again, nothing has been announced, so we just know they're planning towards something like that. Like, this is all working towards something, which I think we already knew.
Yeah, probably. I am curious how well James Gunn's direction or whoever's going to be involved, how well they would be able to pull that off. Like, we know that he can do these ensemble casts, like Guardians of the Galaxy, like what we're probably going to see in the new Superman movie.
What we got from the Suicide Squad.
Yeah, in the Suicide Squad. But I don't know how well he would be at taking established characters from other movies and then cramming them all into one movie. That, I think, might be a bit more difficult. We'll just have to see how it comes out. But
hopefully with them already planning it out, he already has ideas and thoughts on how this is all going to meld together.
It can't be worse than the Justice League movie.
No, it could not. If it is, then they're already in trouble. But we did hear that they're doing live action and some animated stuff, and we did get a Starfire animated series is in the works at DC Studios.
Now, that would be interesting.
Yeah. I don't know if this is going to be like her origin on her planet before she joins the Teen Titans, because I'm assuming she's going to be a part of the Teen Titans, the movie that's getting made. So I don't know if it's a prequel, kind of her getting to Earth and all the stuff that happened, but I'm all for it. Starfire's a great character, so that sounds like a good thing. And then we got, this is going to be an Elseworlds project. This next thing, not the Starfire. We don't know about Starfire. But this next thing, I'm going to show you a little picture.
Oh.
They are making a My Adventures with Green Lantern show based in the same universe as My Adventures with Superman. Yeah.
Okay.
Which I don't know if you have watched My Adventures with Superman at all.
I saw the first episode. I haven't watched anything since then. But I've heard that it's good.
It is. I enjoy it. Jack Quaid doing the voice of Clark Kent stuff. It's very...
Is it geared more towards kids?
Yes.
Okay.
But it does a pretty good job of introducing the characters and doing things that, like, Deathstroke's been in it, and they do a lot of silliness at times, but it's still been good. And now this is going to be Jessica Cruz, Green Lantern. She gets her ring, and it's her learning to deal with her powers and stuff like that. So it's not going to touch anything on, Lanterns, which we know is Hal Jordan, John Stewart, the best Green Lantern, and then, Guy Gardner. So I'm like, okay, they didn't have any weird DC fandom stuff to announce this stuff. They just kind of...
For the best.
Yeah, just in an interview, just dropped some more tidbits like, hey, we're working on stuff, and things are getting closer to pre-production, and we can probably talk about them now. So
I don't even know if they knew what fandom was supposed to be. I mean, I'm sure they had like an idea pre-pandemic, but oof, that was rough.
It's a good idea. I understand why they want to do it. Like, oh my God, Comic-Con generates so much buzz. Let's have our own thing where it's just all about us, and they just didn't know how to pull it off well.
No.
Disney does a little better job with D23, but
they also own more properties, I think.
No, they 100%. They have a lot more they can talk about between Pixar and their animated studios and Marvel and Star Wars and all those other things. Where DC fandom, it's like, we're going to talk all about DC. It's a 3-day event, and we got so little to talk about. We're going to have some...
Can you send a camera crew over to Ezra Miller's compound
No, I'll just show up there. You can't come to the compound.
Okay, we just need you to say flashback a couple of times. Is that it? Yeah. How much do I get paid? I don't know, man. Like, how much does running a compound take?
Yeah. We'll send you over some followers.
Oh, God.
Because so we're getting a little more on DC. All good, you know. Can't wait for Superman to come out. Looking forward to Peacemaker season 2. Looking forward to Lanterns. Even looking forward to Supergirl, you know, Woman of Tomorrow. We know that Jason Momoa is going to be Lobo. It's filming right now. And it was funny because the comic was on the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow was on another planet. So even James Gunn said there's probably not going to be a lot of, you know, pictures of the actors because it's all close set. So we're probably not going to see much until they're willing to, you know, release it, which I don't know. Did you see? I kind of laugh. I don't know who does the marketing at DC Studios sometimes. They release the first pick of Lanterns. Did you happen to see it?
Are you talking about the one where it kind of looks like they're standing on a road or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah, I did see that. It was weird.
I think, do I have it? I want to show everybody. I forgot to load it in the... I thought I had a picture of it so we could show
Is it
everybody.
like based on something?
Oh, here it is. Nothing I know of. I mean, it's just like... It's obviously the two main characters. I did find it, so hold on a second. Let me get this situated. And I hate when I change the picture and it jacks up the... Here we go. Oh, wrong way. Okay, there we go. So here was the first promotional picture for Lanterns. Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart walking down the street.
Yeah. Not even in their Green Lantern costume, just there.
You can see Hal's ring if you zoom in on it.
Yeah, I do see it there.
But honestly, who picked this photo to be like the first promotional thing for it? Like when they said, I was on Twitter and they're like, oh my God, the first picture from Lanterns has already dropped. I was like, I can't wait to...
They don't even look like they're on that road. They look like they were probably standing in front of a green screen and then that was added, you know, after the fact. It's just... It's weird. It's a weird choice.
Yes. I don't know who decided that's what they should release. They would have been better off releasing nothing.
Yeah, honestly. You know, this is one of the things where I have been waiting to see a live-action Jon Stewart. My favorite Green Lantern. I want to see him done right. But the premise of the show has me worried. Like, I don't know. To me, I struggle with the fact that you've got two Green Lanterns who are supposed to be space cops, like, doing a weird mystery on Earth. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't understand, like, why that's how they wanted to introduce these characters, but whatever. Hopefully it's good.
Yeah, and supposedly the mystery is one of the big things moving forward in the DCU. So it's got a lot riding on its shoulders. And, man, I'm with you. Jon Stewart is my favorite Green Lantern. So get this right, please.
Mm-hmm. I do like how he... I like how he looks like he's, you know, ready to go. Like, I'm, you know, we're going to solve this. We're going to figure out this mystery. And Jordan is just like, I don't care, man. Whatever. I'm along for the ride.
Retirement's in 3 days.
Yes. I'm waiting for him to, you know, do like the whole buddy cop thing. Like, yeah, just 3 more days till retirement. Oh, you're not making it out of this, are you?
Oh, no. We like Hal, but if you're going to kill one, kill Guy, please.
Oh, please. Yeah, that'd be... Nobody would care.
He's the most annoying...
Even Hal and John would be like, yeah, that's fine.
Oh, no. Guy died. No disrespect to Nathan Fillion. The character is just an irritating
insufferable.
person. Yes. Insufferable, yes. And now, finally, we are not going to be showing any of these pictures.
Oh.
If you haven't seen them, you should go look. But Marvel had a huge leak Saturday morning. and it had all types of crazy pictures that were released. And the one thing I do, it's always good. Where did I put those? They're in Slack. But once again,
all those art things.
yes.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right.
And these are supposedly legit pictures, and they're out there if you want to see them. I'm not showing them because the site that they dropped to was taken down like within an hour.
They're drawn, right? Like
Yeah,
those
yeah,
aren't
it's
photos.
Yes, it's not photos. It's all concept art,
Yeah.
which, people are going wild, and it's like, okay, you got to understand, this is concept art. This does not mean this is exactly what it's going to look like when the movie comes out. It's what they were aiming for,
Yeah,
but things
this is
change.
early stages stuff.
Yes. But, I mean, they had one of the things, and it was supposedly Doomsday, Fantastic Four, and Secret Wars. We got a picture of Black Panther, T'Challa. We got a picture of Shalla as Silver Surfer coming and talking to Reed. We had a picture or an art. It's not a picture, not a set pic of Franklin with his family, Franklin Richards. And then one of the ones that people were really getting crazy about is Doom with Doctor Strange at his side, with Yelena Belova looking like she's a knight in his service. It looks very God Emperor Doom from the 2015 Secret Wars. He's sitting like in his king's chair. But obviously it seems like some multiversal shenanigans are going on.
It looks like a what if kind of thing.
Yeah, yep. And then we have, in my favorite one, the most shocking.
Peter hanging out with White Vision.
Star-Lord with White Vision hanging out on a couch. I'm like, okay,
Oh,
if that's true, I did not see that coming.
I saw this image in the group that you dumped on Slack, and this was the first one where I'm like, was this drawn by a person or is this AI? Because it looks so uncanny. Like, it doesn't look like a human made this.
And supposedly none of these were AI. But you're right. This one does look like Star-Lord, I don't know, looks off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But, we don't know what kind of... And this, we don't even know for honestly if this was concept art prior to the Russo brothers stepping in and taking it. Or if it was their stuff, what we're going to get. It was just fun. Like, and we even get, like, Hulkland. I don't even know what to call it. We see, the Hulk. We see She-Hulk.
It's all medieval looking.
Yeah, we see Scar looking much better than he did in the She-Hulk series.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a step up. And then we had one with Star-Lord, Wong, and the Young Avengers. We got Kate Bishop, Hawkeye. We got Cassie Lang. We got Speed and Wiccan. And then we got Miss Marvel. And then we got Dupe from the X-Men. On the
Is that
side.
who the little Slimer-looking character is?
Yeah.
Huh.
I was like, okay, I did not expect to see him in any X-Men, any of this stuff. So I don't know if we're going to see some lesser-known X-Men kind of, or mutants, I should say, kind of popping up here. I saw that and I was like, God, Wiccan looks a lot younger than he did in Agatha.
Yeah,
so they're gonna have to age him up.
I'm looking at this concept art, and not only does Wiccan look younger, I'd say Kate looks younger too.
Yeah, she does.
So does Cassie. Really?
Oh yeah, they all really do.
Yeah, the only one who kind of looks the same is Miss Marvel, I'd say.
Yep. And then the final one, the one that really was...
This is pretty cool looking.
Is the Doctor Doom looking one. Wow.
This is pretty sweet looking.
I hope what we get in Doomsday is close to this, because that looks phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
But I got a feeling with Robert Downey Jr. doing it, we're going to see a lot of masks coming off and seeing his face, which is not...
I still wish that they hadn't made that announcement or bring back Robert Downey Jr. Like, I don't care what the reason is. Like, if he's going to play some Elseworlds version of Doom. Like, I just wish the first Doom we got to see in the MCU was Victor Von Doom.
And it's still...
That's my 2 cents.
No, it still feels to me like they're bringing back Robert Downey Jr. because,
They need to get... They're trying to get butts in seats.
Yeah. nostalgia bait.
I get it, you know.
No, I get it too. I'm sure the Disney was like, yeah, you guys aren't making the profits you used to make. We need to do something to bring it back instead of just pushing the story forward and doing a good job. Let's bring back all the old actors, and hopefully it turns out good. But it just seems like because of all of the negativity and they've had their first couple bombs in the MCU, where they've lost money, and it seems like there might be a little pressure from the studio to bring back some of the old actors to really bring it along. But hopefully they figure something out and it's good. There are a lot of rumors that it'll be like Robert Downey Jr. and Hydra Cap, as Chris Evans as Hydra Cap, and Scarlett Johansson as like the evil version of the Black Widow taking on the new Avengers, and that could be fine. I worry about some of the decisions they're making, and I want Doom to be Doctor Doom and not a Tony Stark variant that acts like Tony Stark.
It would be kind of cool. I don't know how they would work this out or where, when, but it would be kind of cool if Red Skull had figured out a way to collect the souls that had, died as a result of getting the Soul Stone, and, turned them into his army. So we have like an evil version of Gamora and an evil version of Black Widow that now serve the Red Skull.
That would be awesome. That would be fantastic.
Again, I don't know how that would actually work. I don't know what sort of story, but I just think it would be a cool idea.
Well,
if you're going to have an evil version of Black Widow, that would be a cool way to do it.
Bo DeMeo, the X-Men 97 writer, had said what they should have done for Captain America Brave New World was have the Red Skull be the villain. And him my arch nemesis can't be, an inferior race. He's not blonde-haired, blue-eyed. We need to take him out. And honestly...
Maybe take Red Hulk and put him in an actual, I don't know, Hulk movie.
Wow, that's a novel idea. That's crazy. How did you think of that? It's like...
It just kind of came to me that, having Thunderbolt Ross and him turning into Red Hulk and, referencing the old Hulk movie and, having his daughter show up, still played by the same actress. And it's like, I don't know, just feel like all of that would have worked. The leader being there. It feels like that was a Hulk movie.
Yeah, the villain we saw turning into the villain at the end of that Hulk movie is obviously, it's...
Little bit.
Would have been so much better, but who knows? We'll see. I'm still looking forward to Thunderbolts and Fantastic Four.
Yes. Oh, I'm really looking forward to Thunderbolts. I think it's going to be, based on these trailers, it looks hilarious. It feels very much like a James Gunn Guardian style movie.
It does. And
we'll see, though.
Let's hope it is. Let's hope it's...
I mean, at the very least, I feel like I'm going to get some laughs out of Red Guardian, so, if that's all I get, then that's fine, too, I guess.
But I'm worried because you know how it goes with the MCU. Captain America Brave New World came out, and everyone's like, it's trash. And then Daredevil Born Again will get, the MCU's back. And I'm worried that Thunderbolts is going to be they fell off the deep end again.
Well, it's terrible again. 2 people in the theater.
And then...
But...
yeah, oh my God, someone was like, did you hear about the roof collapsing on a...
Yeah.
And someone was like, thank God the MCU is so terrible they can't put people in the seats. It was like a matinee during the week, 3 weeks after it released. I don't think a lot of movies have like full houses at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday after it's been released for 2.5 weeks. Some people just like to bash.
Mm-hmm.
And while we will bash, we don't do it unless they
unless it's earned it.
Yes.
We only bash if it's actually earned it. We don't really lean one way or the other when it comes to any of these studios or any, like they have to be Sony level of like consistently bad for us to be like, okay, we know what we're getting into. And it's not going to be good.
But we still go in with an open mind.
Oh, we do.
Because I was shocked. We all thought Kraven was better than it was going to be. Now, maybe that has a lot to do with going in thinking it's going to be terrible, completely wretched.
It was
be
still
like,
a bad movie.
Oh my, yeah, it wasn't good, but
it was kind of better than Venom 3.
Yeah, it was.
It's so sad.
It was better than Venom 3 and Madam Web.
Yeah, yeah.
It wasn't as funny as Madam Web, but
No. Madam Web should have won more comedy awards than The Bear did.
it really should have. Well, that's all we got for the good folks today. Unless you got anything else, Douglas, should we find somebody to raid?
I do not have anything else, so yeah, I think we could stand to find somebody to raid. Might be a good idea.
And remember, we will be back on Thursday talking all about Daredevil Born Again. Oh, TG is on.
He is.
Let's definitely raid our man
No
TG.
chat, all hunts.
Yeah, he's playing Monster Hunter. Hunter Wilds.
Okay, interesting. I never really got into the Monster Hunter bandwagon.
I never played him either, but while I was watching him play while I was getting ready for our stream, it looks good. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh, am I going to have to play these games now? And I think Monster Hunter Rise was free with Xbox Game Pass, whatever I get for free with my Bing points. And I was like, maybe I got to try it. Of course, I got 100 games to play. And all I do is keep finding more, but for those,
I need to either finish playing these games that I've got installed on my computer or just uninstall them already because they are taking up some significant space.
Yeah, I have so many on my Xbox right now too. I have Star Wars Outlaws I haven't started, Indiana Jones I haven't started, Baldur's Gate 3. I know that game's old. I still haven't started it. I'm like, when am I going to find the time? I keep thinking, as my kids get older, pretty soon I'll have all the time in the world, but it just hasn't happened yet. By the time the kids are old and I have the time, I'll have 16,000 games I need to play.
Right.
But we're going to raid Terrible Gaming. He's playing Monster Hunter Wilds. Great guy for those of you on YouTube. Raiding is something we do on Twitch, where we send our viewers to... Oh, I mistyped it. I can't spell today. Only had one R. There's two R's in Terrible, everybody.
Yes, there is.
There we go. And this is intended for mature audiences, but this is where we send our viewers to another content creator because we appreciate them. We're sharing the love. And while there is something on YouTube to handle it, it's
cumbersome and dumb.
Yeah. We have to know who's going to be live when we're live instead of just being able to.
In the meantime, if you're watching us on YouTube, please like, please subscribe, please share, ring the bell, do all of the other YouTube things. Not that subscribing seems to do a whole lot according to YouTube anymore. They keep constantly changing the algorithm, but it really motivates us because I don't know about all of you out there watching us, but Keith, Dave, and I, we thrive on your attention. We need it. We crave it. So if you like our videos and you subscribe to our channel, that knows that we translate that to you like us.
You like us. You really like us.
You really do. So definitely do that.
And we will see you all Thursday night talking Daredevil Born Again. So please join us. Until that time, peace out.
Hey, fellow nerds. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you want to see more of this stuff, make sure that you check out our Twitch stream. We try to do these live Sunday or Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Keep an eye on our social media to find out when you can join in live and chat with us during these live streams. Also, as usual, don't forget to check out our other social media. Add us at Twitter, comment down below, and we'll see you next time right here on Not Your Status Quo.